Come on, y'all.
Hey, and here we go.
Welcome to the Cheer Chronicles Podcast with Rosie.
Hello, everyone. It's Rosie, and welcome back to the Cheer Chronicles Podcast. So excited to be back. It has been a busy week. I know for all my cheer parents out there, we are getting ready for tryouts at school for cheer. We are getting ready for evaluations. Getting in those last minute private lessons are super important. And so I wanted to come on and bring on a podcast episode about the red card challenge. But before I go into that, I just wanted to say that we have been working super hard at the Cheer Chronicles to bring some super special guests coming up soon. My cheer dads, we are finally putting that episode together. We're going to be filming that soon. So excited for that. We have a bunch of cheer dads that are joining us, and it should be a fun time. I cannot wait to do the send-off rounds with the cheer dads. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I also am planning to have Judge Mimi on the podcast. She is a cheer judge who lives in Canada, and she has a super awesome Instagram page, actually. And she just goes into every routine, and she talks about how, you know, she would judge that routine or things that pop out to her as a judge while she's watching different routines, and she brings it on her Instagram page. And I know that I have learned so much just in the few months I've been following her. And I reached out and I said, would you like to be on the podcast? And she was like, absolutely. So we have that scheduled already. And obviously, because she's in Canada, we'll probably be doing like a Zoom or a Google Meet, because she's not coming over here and I'm not flying out to Canada. So yeah, but that should be a good kind of relaxed podcast. Should be fun to do that podcast with Judge Mimi. Super awesome. Mimi. Okay, so today's podcast, like I mentioned previously, is about the red card challenge. And for those of you that don't know the red card challenge, this was, I found out about it when we were at All-Star Worlds. And so I am coming on this episode as a cheer parent, because as a cheer coach, I've never actually had to deal with the red card at all in any of the events that, you know, I take my teams to, which, you know, it's just 2 events and it's the same organization. So I did want to bring on this important, well, I feel it's important subject on the red card challenge. And again, I'm coming at this from a cheer mom because, like I explained, as a cheer coach, I've never had to deal with this. So this was my first encounter with the red card challenge this past All-Star Worlds that we went to in April. And as a parent, I thought it was a good thing to have the red card challenge, right? So I am part of a Facebook page that has a lot of parents on there, and you know, they just ask questions, people answer. You know, if they're moving from one gym to another, they're just asking, if you live in this area, what do you think about the cheer gyms around there? But during All-Star World, somebody posted that the red card challenge was rat behavior, like RAT, like a snitch. And I was just like, what? I didn't even read all the comments about it because I was like, is it really though? So here's my perspective on the red card challenge and from what I understand. And please, by all means, feel free to comment on this episode and just let us know what you think about the red card challenge, right? And if you're like, hey, Rosie, by the way, this is also included, or hey, this is not. So let us know. We're good with that. So let's go over first what the red card is all about. And again, I'm coming at this as a cheer parent. So my understanding is, as a cheer gym, you get a red card. Like legit, it's a red card. It's like a big Uno card. And so you get it, and you're in a division, right, with a team, and everybody goes in the division, everybody performs, right? If you saw another team that you're up against have a legality or a huge deduction, and you're like, okay, I see you, Jim so-and-so, gonna put that in my back pocket and just let's see what the score sheet says, right? So at the end of the division, everyone performed. Here comes the score sheets. So the judges send you the score sheets in an email, is my understanding. And you look over all the score sheets. You have 15 minutes, I believe, 15 minutes to go and challenge something. So you saw the gym who had, let's say, a legality or, a huge deduction, and the judges didn't catch it because, they're human and very subjective, let's be honest. And so you see, okay, they didn't give them the deduction. I have 15 minutes to go back to the judges and I want to say throw down my red card, but give them my red card and say, I am challenging so-and-so's gym in this division because they had this and this occur during their routine. The judges then are supposed to say, okay, they're supposed to look at a video. And my understanding is that they're supposed to have the video. From my understanding, it can't be like some random person videoing it. And then, you take that video to the judges. I'm under the impression that it has to be the video from the judges. They pull up that video and they look to see if you are correct. Now, if you are correct and they agree, they then give that opposite team a deduction, which, let's be honest, in cheer world could mean huge things because it could be very beneficial for you if you are correct. Let's say we're just 0.2 away from being in first place, and then you get this red card and you challenge it and you win, and you might move your team up, right? If you are wrong in your red card challenge, then they could take the red card from you for the rest of the day, is my understanding. Now, if you have different teams going up later, if you lose it, you don't have a red card to then go back and say, wait, but my level 5 team had this occur. Like you lose a red card is my understanding. Now, people were so upset about the red card. And obviously it's upsetting because the judges didn't catch something and now someone else saw it and now they're going to challenge it, right? We hope that everybody keeps it professional, that it's not some pettiness that, the smallest little thing now people are challenging when that, it, like, obviously we don't want the judge's time to be wasted, right? But I don't think it's rat behavior at all. And here's why. If I am a football coach, right? Let's pretend here for the Miami Dolphins, because of course I love them. Go Fins. If I am a football coach and I'm in the middle of, let's say the playoffs, and I sneeze and miss something on a play, and one of my assistant coaches comes up and says, hey coach, while you were sneezing, this and this penalty happened. Or one of my players comes up like, hey coach, you should challenge that play because this and this happened. How is that any different from the red card? I'm about to lose my voice because I'm so enraged by somebody calling it rat behavior. The truth is, I feel like cheer is changing. We want it to be a legitimate sport. We want it to be something that when we tell people that, hey, my athlete, my child does competitive cheer, at least for me, I want people to be like, wow, like that's a super hard sport, you got to be super strong physically, mentally, all the things, right? But then we don't want the rules that come with it. Then when things change and they apply the rules, oh, no. That's rat behavior. Why are they doing that? Why do we need this? Because if we want cheer as a sport to grow, people are going to start paying more attention and more rules will be applied. I'm going to tell you what, this red card challenge will change cheer because people are going to have to be precise in every single thing. Not only the coaches, obviously, and it's happened to me. Listen, when you go out there and you think something is okay to do and then it's illegal, that's no fun. That's very difficult. I've literally sat and talked to judges and I've had like tears in my eyes because these kids work hard and it was one small mistake, or hey, we did this previously and the rules didn't change. I've literally had a judge say, oh, they must have not caught it the year previously, but we caught it now. And so it's super difficult as a coach to have those conversations. But I have to tell you, cheer is changing. You're going to have to be precise and you're going to have to know your rules. And not only do you have to know the rules, but the athletes need to know the rules too. So they understand, hey, I can't do this because it is a legality. It is something that we could be deducted for. And I think it's going to even change how we do routines. During cheerleading worlds, the actual worlds, don't come for me. Team USA, I felt, and obviously they had like a very American military, I feel like that was their routine. But Team USA, the way they did things in that routine was super precise and clean, right? We didn't have a bunch of busyness with tumbling here and tumbling there and people doing a stunt in the back and then this one's crossing over. It was clean, like you knew exactly where everybody was, precise. The bases feet hardly moved, if at all. That is the type of cheer that we're going to see in the future. And I feel All-Star Cheer is also going to change. I don't know, I'm making all these predictions like I'm Cleo or something, but I think that is what will happen with cheer, that preciseness, these athletes being like super, super sharp, none of this moving around. When you're basing and stunting, obviously we always, tell the athletes, you can't be moving if you start here, even with your jumps. If you start in one place, you're supposed to end right there. You're not supposed to be all over the place on the mat when you're doing certain skills. But also even with the dances, I feel like that's going to be super cleaned up as well. I feel like that is the future of cheer. It's something that I spoke to, back and forth on Instagram with Judge Mimi as well. Shout out to Judge Mimi, guys. I'm obsessed with her. She is amazing. I can't wait to have her on the podcast. But she was had a little reel on Team USA and how precise they were. The cleanliness, usually when we're in a stunt, we need a motion for every single count, right? Because we don't want the judges to think that the routine is too slow or, that, we're not doing what we need to be doing in the routine. So it has been the culture that we constantly hit a move with every single thing we do. Like if someone is moving from one end or the middle of the mat to the other end of the mat, we usually have them do at least a forward roll or something, some skill, but doesn't need to be all that. And I feel with this red card challenge and the type of routines that we saw from some of these countries, I mean, shout out to Australia, I don't know, all these countries, my goodness, they just blew me away at All-Star Worlds, at Cheerleading Worlds. But it's going to change because we have to be precise. And not only that, I think it's also going to change the mindset of the athletes where it's not going to be any more of, I'm just going to cheer practice and yeah, I know that I need to hit this and hit this stunt and, it's good. I mean, they're going to have to know the rules, even with the younger kids. They're going to have to know the rules. We're going to have to teach them that. And I just think it's awesome. And I think the more the sport grows, the more we're going to see things like this. And rat behavior or not, you got to be precise. And actually, you know what? If your team hits and you're super confident with your routine, you probably don't need to worry about anybody pulling a red card on you. But if things happen, it also is very difficult to kill it in your routine and have your opponent come up and have the judges miss the mistakes that they made. I mean, that's not easy either. As a parent, as a coach, like, come on, my team killed it, and now we lost or came in, obviously second, to the first place team because the judges missed something. So this is a good opportunity to say, hey, absolutely not. We're challenging this, and please take a look at the video. I would 100%, even if I lose the red card, do that for a team. Of course, any coach would. And so I don't know. What do you all think? Is it rat behavior to pull the red card on a team that, especially at All-Star Worlds, like only a certain amount of teams move up. So if you pull your red card and you're correct, and you were, team 11 and only 10, 1 through 10 are moving up, it's worth pulling the red card then. Because if you know that team 9 had an issue and the judges didn't catch it, you could then make it to finals. And they might be dropped, a whole, like from 9 to 10 or whatnot. So, I don't know. It's super challenging, but the sport is changing, I think. And again, I'm not sure if this red card challenge thing is new. This is the first time I've heard about it. Not that I'm anyone in the cheer world that needs to know any of these things, but I thought it was super interesting. And I kind of like, that whole thing of, hey, are they pulling the red card? What's that about? I thought it was interesting. Super, super interesting that we're seeing these new rules, and, we want this to be a sport, and there's going to be new rules to it for sure. And so, all right, you guys, that is the episode. I'm going to be honest, I'm exhausted. But that's the episode. I've been thinking about this for the last few weeks. Obviously, All-Star Worlds was a few weeks ago, and everybody's moved on, I'm sure. But I've been thinking about this red card challenge, and, is it really rat behavior? And can you imagine how hard it is for a coach? Also, if somebody brings a red card to you, you probably have to go up there and defend yourself, So that's also got to be, God, I don't know, it kind of gives me the ick to think that I would have to go up there and do that. I'd rather be the one obviously pulling the red card on someone and not someone on me. Because eventually if they pull up a video, they're going to see what the video has. I mean, there's no other way around it. But I don't know. What do you all think? Please, when you hear this episode, first of all, don't forget to subscribe, because y'all are killing me. Like, I'm getting listeners, but not subscribers, y'all. Please, just subscribe, please. And then let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Cheer Chronicles podcast. I am Rosie. I will catch you on the sidelines.